we go. We're recording. Welcome to
the
Cruise.
So we're doing our recent pickup video today because there's been so much cool stuff coming in.
It's been unreal. It's been incredible. I should mention, because I always forget to say this in the beginning. If you like what we're doing, subscribe to our channel because we don't have any viewers, man.
Please.
We've been making this thing for a year and like 5 people are watching.
Oh, we have like 30 some subscribers, I think.
We do. But
yeah. But it should be 3,500 by now.
Yeah. Tell your friend. I mean, I think this is a great vlog we got going on here. So yeah, tell your friends, subscribe, or they're gonna cut our funding and you won't be able to see it anymore. So
yeah, our sponsors are making threats.
They want us to start. I was gonna come up with something about having us do something that would involve us selling out, but I couldn't think of anything. Let's get onto the records. That's what people.
Piper commercials or something.
Yeah, they're gonna start doing commercials or yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a very eventful late winter, early spring as far as collections go.
Been crazy.
Yeah, there's been stuff coming in like every weekend.
Yeah.
But I guess that's what our customers kind of expect at this point.
I think you got like people know that's the place.
Yeah. So what I'm showing today is just a few of the things that I carved off, the top of the collections coming in. I could easily just like take home carloads full of stuff, but I try to be conservative about that.
Yeah.
Hey, I actually end up selling a lot of stuff that I wish I hadn't sold.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I don't think about it. And then later I go, man, why did I sell that? I've been looking for that for years.
Well, where are you going to put it, Ken? You have like no room left.
I have no room.
You can't even sit down to listen to your records anymore.
Yeah, like there's stuff in the bathroom.
In the other room, and put your head in.
Yeah, it's crazy. I got a new chair though.
Oh,
cool. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah,
I got a new listening chair.
Awesome.
It took Mary and I 8 hours to put it together.
Was it like IKEA?
And in the end, we were using hammers and stuff. It's one of those Chinese things where it comes half assembled, but the other half you have to figure out from this little drawing that they give you.
And it's like in Dutch or?
No, it's in Chinese. They just give you a box of parts and a drawing. And Mary's a physicist and a mathematician. I'm a luthier, and we couldn't figure it out. So finally, I just let it sit overnight. And I came back the next morning and I'm like, all right, I'm going to be very rational about this. I put it together like, sort of halfway to see how everything fit. And then I sort of got it. But it was way more effort than it should have been to put together half a chair, basically.
Yeah. Huh.
So I don't know if we'll be doing that again anytime soon.
Yeah. Let's talk about some records.
Yeah. So there's lots of cool stuff coming in.
Oh yeah.
And who's starting?
I think I'll start. I'll start this week.
Okay.
So the first record I'd like to talk about.
Oh geez. You've had that in every video.
I have to bring it in every video. That's not the first record. That's not. For those of you who don't know, this is Water Babies by Miles Davis. It's a badass record, and this is a white label promo. Okay. Next. No, the first one I want to talk about. This was that big jazz collection that you got in maybe a month ago,
Which
month
one?
And a half ago. What?
There was like 5 of them.
The big one, the same one I got the Water Babies from.
Oh, the first installment.
Yeah, the first installment. So this is I don't have a lot of Blue Note records. Blue Note record.
Oh, you got that from that collection?
Yeah.
I let you buy that? Oh, man.
I don't know.
Let's see the label. Let's see the label. Is that the traditional Blue Note label, or is it a later one? Yeah, so it's a later one, but it's still cool.
Still badass, yeah.
Good record.
Yeah, yeah. So because I don't like Blue Note is kind of like one of the labels for audiophiles, especially in like Japan. I think like there's like a huge Blue Note
everywhere.
Yeah.
It's the most sought after stuff.
Yeah, and for good, for good reason. And the music is really cool, but it's hard to find, and they don't show up in your average record shop generally, unless it's like a reissue, usually. But so this is one of the later ones, and this is I kind of got this one because I had never heard it. There were a couple other records there that I knew, but I thought if I'm gonna get one, I should get one that I hadn't heard. So this is Workout by Hank Mobley. And I got it partially because I don't know much of Hank Mobley's stuff. And also check out this rhythm section. It's Wynton Kelly, Paul Chambers, Philly Joe Jones, which is one of the versions of the Miles Davis first quintet.
Kind of blue. Yeah.
Yeah, except I think Jimmy Cobb played drums on Kind of Blue, but Philly Joe Jones played on some of that early Miles stuff. And then Grant Green, who I didn't have any of his stuff on.
Oh, yeah.
And
he's always good.
Yeah, and he's like one of my favorite guitar players. There were a couple Grant Green records there that I looked at, but I've heard those records like a million times, and I'm like, I should get something that I hadn't heard. So I got this one, and this is like a really great. You got the classic Blue Note kind of look on the back. It's a really great, Blue Note record. It's got all the elements that you'd want. It's got some swing tunes. It's got some more greasy kind of stuff. I think they say like you always got to do one track for the label where they can kind of market it and the people can listen to it while they're cleaning the house or whatever. So the one that really stands out to me is the second track, which is just like really greasy, and everybody takes like really great kind of very well built solos. So yeah, Hank Mobley.
Good record.
Yeah.
So I just picked this up in that collection that came in last weekend.
Ooh.
Dr. John Gumbo. Yeah, this is a great New Orleans based record. And, basically it's him doing some of the traditional New Orleans songs that everybody does. He does Iko, Iko, Blow Wind Blow, Big Chief, Mess Around, Let the Good Times Roll, Staggerly, Tipatina. It's all old stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Huey Smith stuff. He does a whole Huey Smith medley in the end, but check this out. There he is.
That's excellent.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Yeah. Great band of New Orleans players, kind of the old guys, but I've been looking for this for a while for a nice clean copy. And this is the first press yellow label.
Wow.
Really nice. So I'm enjoying this a lot.
That's awesome.
I've been getting back into Dr. John a lot more these days, and in New Orleans stuff in general.
Yeah,
I love it.
He's really cool. You know what? We went to New Orleans twice when I was in high school with our jazz choir and our jazz band. And the second time we were there, Dr. John was playing, and I didn't know who he was, and I had no interest in going to see him. And
let me guess, you went to the Preservation Hall jazz band.
We did go the first year we went to Preservation Hall, which was cool. I mean, that's one of the things you got to do when you're there. But I feel really stupid. We saw a lot of cool bands, but I wish I had seen Dr. John.
Yeah, me too. I tried to find a show when I was there last, and he just wasn't around at that time.
Damn.
So I never got a chance to see him either, but saw some great music.
Yeah. All right. So next, this is the only. No, actually, there's two records I didn't get at your store in this group.
What?
Look, Ken, I have needs, and you can't always fill all those needs for me, Ken. No, so I drop off at Half Price Books, and while you're waiting for them to price your shit, you have to go look through the records.
Price your shit while you're waiting for them to tell you to give them your shit.
Yeah.
Right. It's a donation system there.
I know. Yeah, we can have a whole episode where we rip into Half Price Books.
Yeah.
But if I see something cool there, I mean, you're the same way. I saw a record from there in your like back behind the counter there that you picked up. The which one was it? The Eddie Lockjaw? No, Eddie. You got right.
Yeah, I bought a couple records there.
Okay, so I got this one at Half Price Book,
and I usually paid too much for them.
This one I did not pay too much for. Actually, it was I think kind of underpriced, but it's still got the shrink on it. This is Sergio Mendes Brazil 66 group, Crystal Illusions, and this is the only record I have of his so far. I've ran into a couple of them, but I want to really listen to this one first. This is a cool. Have you heard this one? This is a cool record.
I haven't heard that particular one. I've got a lot of stuff by them, and I like his trio stuff quite a bit.
I haven't heard his trio stuff. I like this one a lot. This is like a really fun kind of listen. Look, check out this cover. It's glaring a little bit, but they're all kind of in little crystals, and this is he's a very.
My experience with him has been like it can be really good or it can really suck.
Yeah. Not everything is that exciting. This one for me, I think, really nails it in my opinion. It's very commercial, but it's like everything. He's got all the elements where they need to be. The harmony is really cool. The rhythm is cool. He covers some interesting songs. The first track is Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. And what else does he sing? He's got a Milton Nascimento tune on here, Empty Faces. What else does he do? I guess those are and You Stepped Out of a Dream. That's like a jazz standard. But there's like a little bit of, it's poppy. There's a little bit of bossa stuff on here. There's a little bit, some psychedelic kind of stuff, like especially the last track, Crystal Illusions. And I'm pretty sure I need to listen to it again. Some of the tracks are in English, some of the tracks are in Portuguese. So he covers everything. He takes some really ripping keyboard solos. If you're just getting into his music, this is probably a good place to start because he kind of does everything on here. This is a really fun. I had a fun time listening to this record, even though I paid too little for it. But
so this is from phase 2 of the jazz collection. Makoto. And this is a Japanese guitarist, sort of in the vein of Ryo Kawasaki.
Mm-hmm.
He reminds me a lot of him. It's got definitely some pretty strong Asian influence, melodically speaking. But I like it. It's a little more commercial than most of the stuff I would usually listen to. It's kind of like slicker fusion stuff, but I really like the melody aspect of it. He really gets deep with his melodies. So his name, by the way, is Makoto Horishi, and I've never heard of him. It was just one of those things. I like the cover. Scott and I listened to it. He was a little on the fence, so I ended up taking it home, and I'm really enjoying it.
Cool. Yeah, so, I haven't heard him. I know there's a whole subgenre of like Japanese jazz and Japanese fusion that I've barely scratched into that I need to at some point because well in that same period, that same like mid to late 80s, early 90s even. Ryo Kawasaki was around doing all of his stuff. Yeah, this is very much from that school. But so, Kawasaki, at least the music that I've heard, he doesn't really use a lot of traditional Japanese music as an influence. He's pretty like Western in the kind of stuff he plays. So I'm interested.
Yeah, more than this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's little hints here and there.
Sure. What do I want to talk about next? Ooh, okay. I got to give a shout out to Isaac from Blind Island. We always give a shout out to Isaac, but I got to give a special shout out to him. I'll tell you the story. So this is one of the records. This is Hermeto Pascual, by the way. Check out this. First of all, this cover, unbelievable. This is one of those records, like I talked about the Circle record. Every week I come in, I look at it, I'm like, ooh, is this gonna be the week? Is this gonna be the week I come home with it? And then the one week I went in, I'm like, all right, today is the day I get that Hermeto record. And that was the day that we were hanging out with Isaac, and he was looking through, and he pulls it out, and he was looking at it. I'm like, oh no. And he looks at it, he's looking at the back and the musicians on there, and he puts it back. I'm like, oh dude, if you're not going to take that, I'm going to take it. And he goes, actually, I'm still on the fence about it. And then eventually he was like, you know what, dude, I want you to take this. I'm going to get these other records. So Isaac, I need to give a shout out to you, dude. And also I need to bring this in so you can hear it, because this record is unbelievable. Hermeto is incredible. He's just an incredible, he's kind of like he's almost a Frank Zappa type, as far like his music doesn't really sound like Frank Zappa, but where he's just got like hundreds of different influences, and you can tell that everything he hears gets like filed under something and he uses it somehow, you know. He's just got all sorts of sounds on here. Some of this is, you know, very traditional Brazilian sounding stuff. Some of it is like film scores. Some of it is really avant-garde stuff. Like it's just like it's a totally immersive experience. You can really like he's a genius. And let me tell you some of the people who are on here, at least the ones that I recognize. A lot of string players, woodwinds. It's like a full orchestra basically. Hubert Laws is on here. Joe Farrell. And then let's see who else. Thad Jones is on here. He's like one of the kind of big band trumpet players. And then you got Ron Carter. He's on all those Latin records. Airto Moreira, who I've probably mentioned every episode. He's like one of my favorite musicians. And Hermeto playing keyboards, and he's a crazy keyboard. He's a nut, man. He's unbelievable. He's on some of that Miles electric stuff, like Live Evil and stuff like that. Maybe just that one. But this is if you can find this one, this is the only copy I've seen of it. Here he is on the back.
It's on a weird label too, right?
It's on Cobblestone, it looks like.
Yeah, that's a more obscure jazz label.
Yeah, and he's got the liner notes are written by Airto on here. He gives a really nice introduction about him. And I haven't seen it. I don't think I've seen any of his other records, but he's still around and he's still making cool stuff. There's like a video. I told one of my friends from Berkeley that I found one of his records, and he sent me this video of Hermeto. He's like laying on the floor with no shirt on. He's like a really big guy, and he's albino. He's like quite a sight to look at. And he's laying on there. It's like this 10-minute piece of him like slapping himself and making all sorts of noises with his mouth. It's amazing. It's like actually like really good. So yeah, if you guys haven't heard of him or listened to his music, you should check him out. He's really incredible.
So this is the latest tone poet that I've been really bigging on. Yeah, great album. John Scofield, Pat Metheny together. I Can See Your House From Here. This is one of the Blue Note things that didn't come out on Blue Note originally, I don't think. I don't know.
That's weird to see those guys on Blue Note. That's like, well, Scofield. Like,
yeah, they've done some different, you know, like they did a Brian Blade reissue on the Tone Poet series and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this is kind of in that vein, but killer record. Having both of these guys on one record like this, sort of at the height of their magic powers.
Who's the rhythm section on there?
Let's see. Steve Swallow on bass, Bill Stewart on drums.
Who's it on drums?
Bill Stewart.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh man. That's
Yeah.
I think Scofield's kind of usual lineup. That's a great band. Oh man.
Killer band, yeah. Yeah, I saw that band live in Milwaukee. It was pretty cool, the John Scofield Quartet.
Yeah.
He walked out, he said, "I'm John Scofield from New York City." And then he went into the first song. He never talked for 2.5 hours. He just played his ass off.
That's awesome.
It was great.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is kind of expensive. They want over $40 for this, but it's worth it.
Is it a double LP?
It's a double LP.
Okay.
And you know, it's the usual Tone Poet setup. Really nice, heavy pressings. You know, sounds amazing. It's one of those records. It's worth it. Whatever you got to pay.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, Scofield, man, he's cool. I saw him at Berkeley doing his Country for Old Men tour. He came out with like a country record. I don't remember. Oregon. I don't remember who it was, but it was the same rhythm section.
He did like a Motown record too, like a soul Motown record.
Yeah, probably.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very eclectic. Okay, next one. So I'm not a wish list kind of guy. Like I know a lot of people who come into your store, like they're like, this is what I want. I generally go in, I just see what grabs me. I usually try to walk out with something I didn't know existed. This is a situation. I came in to do some flip videos for you because you had just gotten a collection and like this, if I had a wish list, this is like the only record on my wish list. So I'm basically done. I don't need to buy any more records. This is Thrust by Herbie Hancock. Let me just pause a little bit so you can just kind of absorb that album cover. Look at that. You got Herbie.
Yeah, you were all over that record.
This is first, just the album cover alone. I just have this up, you know, in my room so I can look at it all day. This is like the definition of what they would call Afrofuturism. So it's like kind of reassembling the African past, which was kind of ripped away when the diaspora happened. So they had to kind of cobble it together based on what they could find out. And then kind of mixed with this science fiction sort of element. So he's controlling his spaceship with a keyboard, which is exactly what the music sounds like. And he's going into some, you know, ancient city with a mountain and like the moon in the background. So he's on some other planet, rediscovering some other civilization through his music. And here's the band on the back. And the bass player on here, Paul Jackson, just passed away, like a within a week, which is sad. I mean, we're losing a lot of musicians, and his playing, everybody's playing on this record, but everybody's playing on this record is just unbelievable. This is like one of the coolest bands ever, and this is, for me, this is my favorite. I think my favorite Headhunters record, because the actual self-titled Headhunters record is also incredible, and is maybe more iconic. I mean, that's the record most people know. But for me, this one is incredible. I mean, the which was Actual Proof, I think, is the one that's my favorite. I mean, Actual Proof and Butterfly, I think, are my favorite tracks on here. And it's like, it's sci-fi music. Like, you listen to it and you feel like you're hurtling through space on a spaceship, or you're like wandering through the swamplands of some other planet. It's just incredible. So if you can find this, I've never run into this before. I didn't think I was ever going to see it. So this is like one of my most prized possessions now, actually. Herbie.
Jaluka.
I don't know.
Some African stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. This is a great record. I usually don't go after this stuff. This is Johnny Clegg is on here. He's pretty well known, but it's sort of like African funk, I guess. And I picked up like 3 of these at the same time, and didn't really know if I was going to like it all that much, but yeah, I ended up really digging it.
Cool.
Yeah, this is French pressing. So It's on a French label. Or actually, is this one? Yeah, this is a European, yeah, French pressing of a celluloid record.
Wow.
Celluloids, you find these in the States too. It's one of those sort of world labels that does kind of newer world music. So
that's cool. Yeah, I'm only just starting to dip my toes into African stuff, like actual African, or current. You know, obviously, you know, Babatunde, I know all the old stuff and whatnot. But as far as the people in the last couple of years playing new music, I'm just getting started with it. But yeah, that looks awesome.
Yeah, this is older. I mean, this is 1984. So like the Golden Palominos are on this label and
cool.
stuff like that, you know. So it's a label that kind of does sort of electronica influenced world music. But this is pretty straight ahead African funk. It's cool.
Sweet. All right, I'm gonna break the rules on the last record, because I did not just buy this. Actually, this is probably one of the first records I got, but I didn't know what it was. And it was like, I didn't find it until I was like, I cleaned out my record collection, you know, a couple weeks ago, which is everybody's doing now. And I had this record for 6 years, 7 years. I didn't know what it was. It was when we went, right when I started getting into Prague, you took me to a record shop in Madison. Before you had your record shop, and kind of got the core Prague records, you know, like the Yes records, King Crimson, probably some Genesis, and you threw some Keith Jarrett stuff in there, which I didn't know what the heck that was, and some Pat Metheny and stuff. And this one, which I'm still kind of surprised by, because this is like a kind of obscure record. This is, you recognize this one?
Yeah, it's Wilco.
Well, it's Jeff Tweedy from Wilco.
Yeah.
So somehow.
And his son.
Yeah,
right?
His son. So somehow you threw this in here, and I've been sleeping on it for like 8 years, however long ago that was. And then the day that I came in to kind of fill in at the cash register, I had a Relix, is that what it's called? Some magazine. And it was an interview with Jeff Tweedy talking about this record that I was reading. And I went home. I'm like, is that the record? Because this doesn't look like a Wilco record. I thought maybe it was like a hip hop or a punk record or something, because it had the graffiti on it, and it's got him on the back, probably when he was back with what was the band he was with? The like alternative country band before Wilco, where he played bass. What was that one?
My brain isn't working that good today yet.
Wait, I have it here.
It's a great record though.
Yeah. Uncle Tupelo.
Uncle Tupelo.
Looks like it from the Uncle Tupelo era. But yeah, this is a record. This is his first solo record. It's called Sukiere. I don't know what that means. But it's a double LP, and he plays everything on here except for the drums. His son plays his drums. So it's called Tweedy, because it kind of covers both of them. And it's great. I haven't really heard anything of his that I wasn't moved by. You know, he's really got a special thing going on, where his music is always interesting, and there's always things about it that are unexpected, and he's always got obviously cool sound design and interesting effects. And the lyrics are always you can always chew on the lyrics. They're not just directly fed to you. You have to be like, what the heck is he saying with that? But you still, even if you don't understand what he's singing about, you still feel like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. So Jeff Tweedy.
He's a good writer.
He's an incredible writer. He's just like, I mean, I'm sure most of the people listening probably already know that, but he's just like, I'm just so in awe of the music that he makes and how honest it feels and fresh. He's really got a special thing going on. So this is my last pick of the episode, Jeff Tweedy. anything. I haven't heard anything of his. Like he's got records where it's just him and a guitar, like a live record, and it still sounds like a full band. He's such a creative musician. So that's our.
So this.
Oh, you got a sixth one?
No, this is you started, so I'm ending.
Oh, right. Okay. Cool.
George Russell, The Outer View,
Ooh.
Also from that big jazz collection.
Yeah.
Killer record. Listen to the band. Don Ellis on trumpet, Garnett Brown on bone, Paul Plumer tenor sax, George Russell piano, Steve Swallow bass, Pete LaRocca drums, and Sheila Jordan does a vocal. There's one vocal song on here. It's the creepiest version of You Are My Sunshine I've ever heard in my life. It's just creepy. It's slow and ethereal and swampy, and you wouldn't think it would be good. How could that be good? But it's amazing.
Good. I believe you.
It's amazing.
Wow.
So this was one of those albums I was really surprised about. I like George Russell, and I just kind of had a feeling about it, so I took it home, and I was like, man, this is so good. I've listened to this like 5 times.
And is this
so
is the Swallow play? Is this when he's already playing electric?
Steve Swallow?
Yeah.
No, I think he's doing probably both.
Okay.
So this is from the Ernest Mayer Jr. collection. That was that big collection. We had 2 different installments of this collection so far.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of these. This is a Riverside reissue. Great pressing, heavy, like 180 gram pressing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is all. It's kind of psychedelic, kind of fusiony, but just great record.
I'll have to check that one out. The Outer View, is that what it is?
The Outer View.
Wow, cool cover too.
Very complex, very interesting, unusual record.
Far out.
And like I said, the creepiest version of You Are My Sunshine you will ever hear in your life. It just makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. Her voice.
Wow.
So
cool.
It's one of those things. I have so much jazz. I'm always looking for unusual, kind of weird stuff that I haven't seen, and that was one that just looked interesting.
Yeah.
So that's our new pickups video.
Yeah. So new pickups.
Spring.
I'm sure everybody out there listening who made it to the end of the episode is probably thinking, dang, I gotta get some, new, interesting, weird stuff going on in my collection. If they're trying to do that, Ken, what do you suggest that they do?
Come down to Paramount Record Shop. You can now come on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday and dig through the piles. The bins are still just jammed full of cool stuff.
Yeah.
So we still haven't even got out that last collection. There's not enough room.
But there will be.
There will be. They come and they go.
When people find out what's there. Yeah. Like any day you come in, there's gonna be something unexpected and like, because I've been to a couple record shops recently, mainly just trying to get rid of the stuff that you didn't want from the collection I was getting rid of. So I went to a couple other ones, and it's usually like, am I gonna find something interesting? Like you might find 1 or 2 records that are like cool, but when you go to your store, it's like you have to like edit. You have to be like, okay, I can't go home with all of this. Like what am I gonna sacrifice, and what is really worth taking? Because there's so much cool stuff there. You only buy stuff that is cool. So yeah, I mean, we say this every episode, but guys, the Paramount Record Shop has the shit. And
the last couple weekends, I mean, we've gotten like 6 collections in, and basically out of those 6 collections, I probably bought 25 records. So we're really selective
Yeah.
about stuff we buy.
Yeah.
Like everything we buy is there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's cool.
And it's a really wide
reason.
selection. Like you got some like serious punk records, and maybe they're sold already. I don't know, but you got some serious punk records. And someone was asking me the other day if you had classical records. You got some killing classical records there. Obviously, all the classic rock stuff. Some I found some crazy avant-garde records there that I didn't think I'd ever see.
World records, Celtic records, bluegrass, country.
Huge country selection. Yeah. So
yeah, in our country section alone is probably, I don't know, 400 records.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a lot of everything.
And it's a great country collect, because normally the country collections when you see at the record shops, it's like all the cheesy RCA stuff. This is like,
there are no Slim Whitman records in there.
There's what?
There are no Slim Whitman records in there.
Yeah, it is the prime stuff. Okay, so you're all sold. You're all gonna go down there and find stuff that's gonna blow your mind. And I think that's a good place to stop. Subscribe to our channel so that you hear about what's going on, and you see the flip videos, so you realize that when I say that there's cool shit at Paramount Record Shop, you can look at the flip videos and be like, oh my gosh, there's cool shit at Paramount Record Shop. Okay, well, we'll see you all next episode. Bye, everybody.
See ya.